For those of you that are familiar with my YouTube channel, you'll know that it's primarily focused on cycling, but from time to time I review some audio products, and that's what I'm going to do in this video. And these are the Liberty 2 Pros by Anchor Soundcore. I think Soundcore is owned by Anchor or vice versa, I don't know, but these have absolutely surpassed my expectations. So I'll say right off the bat, I get a lot of emails from companies that want me to review earphones or headphones, and I basically ignore most of them. I got an email from this company. I put it aside for a while. I finally did some research, said, hey, these actually look pretty good. I got them in, and these things are incredible, and I'm gonna tell you why. Now, I will also say one other thing, that Jaybird have been my go-to for earbuds. And I'll say right off the bat, for those of you who work out in the gym or mountain bike with earbuds when it's safe, these are not waterproof. I'll just get that out of the way. But if you like really, really, really good audio quality, stick around, because I'm going to talk about the audio quality and I'll talk about some really cool features of these. So like I said, Jaybird have been my go-to for earbuds, and the Jaybird Vistas are hands down my go-to for wireless earbuds when I'm riding, when it's safe. I know that's a controversial topic, but in the gym, whatever, outside when you're mowing the grass and you're sweating like crazy, these are waterproof, sweatproof. These are not. But let's get into it, and I'll tell you why I really like these things. I'll show real quick what you get in the box with these, because you get quite a few ear tips, USB-C charging cable. Honestly, if a device doesn't charge with USB-C, it almost takes it off the list for me. Everything that I own charges now with USB-C. You get quite a variety of ear tips. I'm not going to take those out, but you've got 3 different size fins that go in your ears, and then you have 7 different size ear tips that you can customize for the shape of your ears. So here is the case that they come in. Let's talk about charging real quick. It takes 1.5 hours for these to charge once you put them in the case. It takes 2 hours to charge the case. And then according to Soundcore, you can recharge these 3 times fully with the case before you have to recharge the case. And I actually didn't know this until I was preparing for this review, but this case actually supports QI certified wireless charging, which is really cool. I have a wireless charger at work, so when I get to work next week, I'm going to try that. On the back of the case, you've got the USB-C charge port, and it's got a little cover so you can keep dust out of it when you're not using it. And then there's a little button. It's probably hard to see in the video, but there's a little button right here that you can hold down for 3 seconds if you want to pair it to another device. Now, you cannot pair these to more than one device at a time, but if you want to switch it like from your phone to your iPad, you could put the earbuds back in the case, hold this little button down for 3 seconds, and then you can pair it to another device. I want to do a size comparison real quick with the case for the Jaybird Vistas. Now, this case really fits in like a pair of jeans pockets really easily. This does too. It's just a little bit bigger, a little bit more bulky. So for just total compact carrying, the Jaybird Vistas get a little bit of the edge, but these still fit in a pocket really nicely. Just to open up the case. So this case slides open, whereas something like the Vistas pop open. So like the Vistas, these will hold with a magnet, and I mean, you'd have to shake this case pretty hard to get these to fall out. Once you put them in the case, they will start charging, and then you've got some LED lights on the front that'll tell you basically how charged the case is. And I think if you tap this button on the back, yeah, it'll show you how charged the case is. So I've got 2 LED lights, 2 out of 3. So why am I raving about these? It's the sound quality. So these have a dual driver. So they have a balanced armature driver and a dynamic driver. So what does that mean? If you're not familiar with it, balanced armature drivers are the ones that give that really clear sound. You have them in hearing aids, really good on the mids and the trebles, and just really good on the clarity. The dynamic driver gives it more of that warm tone, more of that really good, strong bass. All right, so let's talk sound quality of these. And I don't consider myself an audiophile. I'm not going to try to use the terminology the audiophiles use when they review a pair of earbuds. So I'm going to keep this to the common man, so to speak. The clarity on these is excellent. So the earphones that I use as kind of my standard for clarity and just really good sound quality that aren't like crazy expensive are the Audio-Technica ATH M50s. And these are, I don't know, they're about 150 bucks, 180 bucks. These are about 150 bucks. The sound quality on the Soundcore, the Liberty 2 Pros, is almost as good as these. Now, I mentioned the Jaybird Vistas. These have kind of been my standard for wireless earbud sound quality, and I didn't think I would find anything that was true wireless that was as good, and these have surpassed. Like I said, they're pretty much, I'm going to go out on the limb here and say on par with these. The clarity is superb. The bass is not bloated. The bass is not rumbly where just you hear it rattle. Again, I'm not going to try to use all these audiophile terms. The bass is clear. The bass is strong. The bass is powerful. The mids, I listen to a lot of jazz. Vocals are extremely clear. Things like guitar strings and saxophones. There is a term that I like to use, and it's soundstage. And what soundstage means is it sounds like the instruments aren't all jumbled together. It sounds like the instruments are more on a stage. They're around you. These have absolutely not only the best soundstage of any wireless earbud, but of any earbud that I've used. Again, almost on par with these. And this is kind of my price ceiling for earphones or headphones, about $150, $200. And so the sound quality, again, on these is absolutely amazing. Much better than the Jaybird Vista. Well, I don't say much better because the sound quality on these is super good. But it is better. It's clearer. The sound stage is better. Now, these do not have active noise cancellation, but they have excellent passive noise cancellation. In other words, they block the sound. You get a really tight seal. So the best way to put these in your ears is once you get them in, you kind of rotate them and they will lock in your ears and they don't move around. Now, like I said, you can't really use these for working out if you're going to sweat a lot. But if you're doing like push-ups and things like that, they absolutely stay in your ears. They don't fall out. So that's kind of what they look like. Now, the downside is they're a little bulky as far as sticking out. They're still pretty light. They're probably not quite as light as the Jaybird Vistas. Let me stick these in my ears so you can kind of see the difference. So these don't stick out as much. Now, what I like about these actually is the buttons are on the side. So you're not pushing the earphone. Like this button is on, well, I said the side, but on this side. So you have to push the earphone in to activate the buttons. This button is on the outside. So all you would do is just kind of do a little pinch here on the side of the earphone to hit the button. And so the buttons are actually easier to operate without having to put some pressure in your ears, which you can do with the Jaybird Vistas. But again, that's kind of what they look like if you want to just get an idea. They do stick out, but it's the price you pay for having a dynamic driver, true wireless earbud. With these earbuds, you can use one or the other if you really want to conserve battery. So, you can listen to music in one. When that one goes down, that's a lot of music. Like it's 8 hours these things go on one charge. So I wouldn't do that because I like stereo. But you could, in theory, if you want to do that, listen to one, put it back in the case. But you can take phone calls on these, and either one will work for phone calls, which is really nice. Both have the microphone in them. You can hear the calls in stereo if you use both, or if you just want to use one for phone calls, that's also very nice. Now, I know I'm doing some comparison to Jaybird, but like the Jaybird earbuds, these also have an app, which is actually very useful because you can customize the buttons. So let's take a look at the app. All right, I've got the app open, and if you see a green circle around the L or the R, that means the earbuds are on or connected. I'm going to tap on Equalizer on the bottom left, and this is where you can go into custom EQs or ones that are already set. So if I tap on Custom, it will switch over to that one. If I tap again, this is where I can customize the EQ. Now, one thing that I really like about these is you can do a personalized EQ. So I'm going to tap on the top box, and that'll take me into this screen where I could do a test. So I've already tested. If I tapped on retest at the bottom, basically what it does is it plays tones, and you hold down a button on the bottom of the screen when you hear the tone, let go when you don't hear it. It takes about 3 minutes, so probably about a minute and a half per earbud. once you're done, it has an EQ set up just for your hearing. On the bottom of the screen, I'm going to tap on the far right button, which is the controller, and this is how you can set up the buttons. So I have it set up so when I double tap the left button, it'll go to my Google Assistant, or it would be Siri on an iPhone. And then if I double tap the right one, it would go to next. You can see the different configurations you can do for the buttons. So next track, previous track, volume up or down. I have it set up so that when I hold down the button on the left earbud, it will do volume down, and same thing on the right, it would go volume up. Now, it does it like one step at a time, so you can't just hold it down and have the volume go, up multiple steps. You have to do it one step, let go, hold it down for another second. And so that's how you can change the volume. If I go on the little three dots on the top right, I can go to where I can update the firmware. I can open up a quick start guide, user manual, so that's kind of cool too. But like I said, a pretty basic app, but one that I found really useful. These get my highest recommendation if you want true wireless earbuds with just incredible sound, as long as you don't need them for applications where you would sweat a lot or risk getting them wet. Any other application, you would be really happy with these if you're like me and you demand really good sound quality. How about you? Have you used these? Do you have any other recommendations for dynamic driver true wireless earbuds? Drop that in the comments below. Thanks for watching.